How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Set 6, and today we've received news about Ever Crisis, The First Soldier, Episode 2, coming on October the 16th. Which, you know, it's good news and bad news for me. Good news, we get more Sephiroth backstory. Bad news, I'm going to have to level up in Ever Crisis. Also, if you don't know what The First Soldier, Ever Crisis is a gacha mobile game, basically, that gives us retellings of all of the components of the Final Fantasy VII compilation. So far it's working through Crisis Core and the original FF7, but the other thing it's doing is giving us a new backstory in The First Soldier, which is exploring Sephiroth's childhood and how he became the hero, basically. So, if you've not seen any of it or played any of it before, go and check out the playlist on the channel, and that covers every chapter of Episode 1 of The First Soldier. And it'll give you the first part of that backstory, introduce you to Glenn, introduce you to a few other quite important characters. But we're going to have a look at the trailer, we're going to have a little chat about it. It's very much the same trailer that we saw at the end of Ever Crisis Episode 1, the final part of that. But we've got English subtitles now, and I feel like there are a couple of extra scenes in there, like the very end of the trailer wasn't there. So we're going to talk about it. Like the video, subscribe for future content, keep an eye on things. Also, did my first YouTube stream last night, so if you're interested in just watching me sit about and play games, you know, feel free to jump in at some point. But let's crack on with it. So the trailer begins very much in the same way that the trailer from the end of Episode 1 started, and we see a black cloak walking through a ruined area, and a video camera falls to the ground. Now, it very much looks like the black cloak is carrying the camera. It might not be, but it very much looks like the black cloak was carrying it. So I don't know what this is supposed to suggest to us, because in a second we'll see someone wandering around with a camera with Angeal and Sephiroth. And is this kind of a suggestion that what we're seeing here is the first black cloak, maybe? Answers on a postcard. Well, in the comments. Anyway, camera hits the ground and the footage on it begins playing, and we see someone moving through this area, filming. And I'm going to assume it is this person that's in the black cloak. And in the footage we see flickers of the area looking ruined and a bit dilapidated, well, very dilapidated, and that keeps interspersing with a shot of Sephiroth stood in what seems like the same area, with the area bathed in fire. This is becoming a recurring theme, Sephiroth. You're going to have to chill. Like, you can't just turn up in a new place and be like, ooh, fire. You can't do it. You just stop it. Stop it. Anyway, the voiceover continues that this land is home to a mysterious power, and that their work isn't done until they find out what it is. Now, I don't know who this voice is. We may find out who it is a little bit later in the trailer, but I don't think we do, so I'm unsure as to who this is. But the shot closes with Sephiroth and Angeal walking forwards, and the cameraman obviously following behind them. So, it seems like Sephiroth's been sent on a mission to a place with a strange and mysterious power, and it seems like it's going to end up on fire at some point, with Sephiroth stood in the middle of the fire. Just a normal Wednesday for Sephiroth. Anyway, we stop with the cutscene and we get a few in-game shots. We've got the cameraman there with Sephiroth and Angeal saying that he's going to get them back to Midgar whatever it takes. Not too sure who he's speaking about there. I'm going to assume probably some locals who live in this area. It gives me the feeling that this is an area where people live. Something weird's happened, lots of people have died, and we're doing a rescue/investigation mission. That's kind of the vibe it's giving me at the minute. We then get a shot of Angeal giving Sephiroth a bit of earache because Sephiroth didn't get involved in a fight, and Sephiroth just says, it looked like you had it handled. Which feels a little bit like Sephiroth maybe testing Angeal a little bit, like, yeah, let's see what he's made of. Let's see what this guy's got. That's what it feels like to me. We then get a CGI shot where Sephiroth is saying, you and I were raised in different worlds, we'll never see eye to eye. And immediately, everyone's gone, worlds? Worlds? And lost it a little bit, and it's pretty funny. Like, anytime the word worlds is mentioned anywhere now in Final Fantasy VII, me included, we're all just going to lose it a little bit, like, wait, what? Worlds? What do you mean worlds? So, I don't think that's what this is. I think he's talking about, like, how they were raised, and Sephiroth was clearly raised in a laboratory. So, you know, he's got a bit of a weird upbringing compared to everybody else, and he recognises that, and that's what he's saying here. But it'd be funny if there was something to it. It'd be funny if there was something to it. I don't think there is. I think it's literally what I've just said. But, you know, we can dream. We get a little bit of footage of Angeal running around the area, and we get some combat footage of Angeal. Looks pretty cool. And just looking at the area, I don't know where we are right now. I am not 100%, I'm not even 50% on where we are in the world right now, which makes me think it's going to be something similar to Rador. It's going to be a location that we haven't seen, because by the time we pick up with the Final Fantasy VII world at its earliest point in Crisis Core, this location's already been decimated and it's gone. That's what I'm going to guess. It's going to be very similar to Part 1, with Rador being a location that we've never been to before, we've never really heard of, and now we're never going to see again because it's gone. That's kind of what it feels like to me. We're going to get that again, which makes sense because, you know, you don't want to go messing around with the lore of other locations unnecessarily when you can just slap a new location in. I get it. Anyway, after that we come to this scene that we saw previously of Sephiroth stood in front of Hojo, loads of purpley red flames and auras coming off Hojo, and Hojo looking very sus, and Angeal is the voiceover here, and he says no matter who it is or what they say or do, you've got to block it out and push through to the end. Now, I feel like this text is probably not connected to this scene that we're seeing right now. I could be wrong, but I feel like this is just Angeal talking generally. This is Angeal's heroic, like, you've got to be strong and push through, hopes and dreams, honor, that's what's going on right now with Angeal. And that could happen at literally any point, because that is Angeal, basically. But this shot of Sephiroth and Hojo, and the fact that they've put this line over it for the trailer, tells me that I think we're going to see something very similar to what we've been seeing with Cloud, and the way Jenova just messes with Cloud, and Sephiroth just messes with Cloud constantly. I think what we're seeing here is Jenova and Hojo messing with Sephiroth, and it might not even be something that Hojo's consciously aware of. It might just be that Jenova, like it does, takes the aspects of Hojo and uses them as a way to work on Sephiroth a bit. Because if we remember from that scene that we saw at the end of episode 1, we know that Jenova's already messing with Sephiroth and getting in there, and we're definitely going to get to see more of that. So that's what I think's going on here. Could be something else. Hojo could be going Super Saiyan or something like that, but I feel like it's Jenova working on Sephiroth and just breaking him down gradually. And maybe Hojo as well, because Hojo knows a lot. Hojo knows what he's up to. Hojo's dodgy, so it wouldn't shock me if Hojo's a part of this. And it's just some methodology to keep Sephiroth under the control of the company. But because of what they're doing, it ends up manifesting through Jenova. That's my guess. That's my guess. Moving on. Anyway, after this we get the big splash screen with the October 16th release date, and then we get the final scene, which it's pretty basic. It's just Sephiroth and Angeal sat on a helicopter, heading out on this mission. And it very much feels like it's supposed to mirror the final part of the first trailer for the first episode of The First Soldier. First. Because in that one we see the helicopter, we see Glenn, we see Matt, we see Lucia. They're just kind of sat there chatting. And in this one, we've got a very similar setup. And this is going to be the opening scene, basically. This is going to be the opening scene of episode 2, chapter 1. That's going to be where we start. So, yeah, very much the same thing. And it's just Angeal introducing himself to Sephiroth, and Sephiroth seeming very unimpressed and very uninterested. Because I'm going to guess Sephiroth's kind of reeling still from everything that went down in Rador and all of that sort of stuff. So, yeah. But that's the end of the trailer. That is the end of the trailer. I'm now going to go and lock myself in a cave and start leveling up like a madman on Ever Crisis, because I haven't touched that game since I finished doing the chapter breakdowns for the first episode. And if you've not caught up on Ever Crisis and you don't know what went down in the first episode between Sephiroth and Glenn and everyone like that, go and check it out. 8 episodes, pretty quick to get through, and it'll tell you everything that you need to know without you having to go and level up. That's what I do, apparently. Anyway, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you agree or disagree with any of the things that I've said in this video. You know, leave your thoughts about what the trailer shows us in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe for future content, give it a share. But more importantly than anything, have a great day.